about we start by hitting the like button, shall we? Okay, yeah. Good evening, good afternoon, once again. Good morning, world. It's BantuTV, and well, this is the day for me to talk my lungs out, and I am happy about that. For right now, usually I keep quiet. Anyway, happy Father's Day once again, and welcome to BantuTV, where we try to dissect the happening news. I'm hoping my special guest from Zambia will get through somehow. Mr. Mianda Malaiti, we are waiting on him to discuss several happenings from the motherland, and we can't run away from this. I think the major happening in the last 10 days, and my brain is saturated with all kinds of information to a point where I can't handle it. My brain is about to explode here, people. Explode it is. And yeah, so let's have a conversation. Let's have a respectful conversation about the happenings back home, where the Zambia we want to see going forward, and we can't run away with things happening over there. But the demise of the late president. Um, Edgar Chagwa Lungu, and that has been filling all the paperwork, the newspaper world, the blogosphere, the social media, regular news. That's all we've been hearing. And there has been information and misinformation. So I will try my level best to uh, maybe throw out the misinformation and stick to the information that everybody needs to know from what we have heard. So, breaking news from today, we had a press conference that was held in Zambia, capital city, I think. Chaired by the Secretary to the Cabinet, Mr. Patrick Kangwa, and of course, the one and only, the one I always refer to as Moneybags, Makebi Zulu, standing in or representing the family of the late president. And it was announced at that press conference the body of the late president will be in the country on Wednesday. Burial is 23rd of June, next Monday. For those people that didn't live in Zambia, the mourning period has been extended until Monday next week. It expired yesterday. So yeah, so you guys continue enjoying the gospel tunes on most of the major networks over there until Monday, while we mourn the late president and his burial. So yeah, so a consensus finally was agreed, and so I think to me, what really stood out for me was the announcement that apparently, government did give or extend to pay for Mr. Lungu's treatments in South Africa, and even travel arrangements that was denied by the family. So I don't know where people are getting this news about. Okay, well, the president, the current government didn't offer any help. So help was rendered, and the secretary to the cabinet made that clear in front of Moneybags, Makebi, Zulu, who couldn't even, argue on that point. So yeah, they did render their help, but that help was declined by the the Lungu family, and also I think what was really revealing is the fact that, well, you know what, after all it's said and done, all the so-called wishes by the late president of not having the current president, HH, to preside over his funeral. Well, everybody agreed, it's the law. HH will be front and center at that funeral. So, of all the noise that we heard this past 10 days, it's all been lies. I mean, so there we have it. So the funeral is next Monday. The mourning period has been extended to the 23rd. The body arrives in Zambia from South Africa on Wednesday, and the head of state, HH, as is fondly known, will be presiding over that funeral. So I don't know what the Zambians are thinking after hearing all this in today's press conference. So what was true, what was not true, has been laid down out there for everybody to see. So all the allegations about government not offering help, not offering to pay for the evacuation of the late president to South Africa was not true. Paying, hospital fees and stay for family, financial help was rendered. That help was declined. So what is what? So why did we have to go 10 days of anxieties and pulling all our hair out and this propaganda? Why did we have to go all through that only for this press briefing to let us know that the president will actually be right and center of that funeral? Makebi was adamant over the week that, well, you know what, we are not going to have HH presiding over his funeral. Well, I guess the only thing they got was the fact that his body, once it arrives, it will go to his private residency in Chifwempa. I think Chifwempa. Somebody correct me, whatever that resident's name is. They call it Chifwempana, what was it? Something like that. So I heard about that, and so yeah, it will lie instead over there from Wednesday. Of course, it will be taken over to church. There'll be church service. It's not going to be at typically, I think most head of state funerals are usually done at the Cathedral of the Holy Cross, I think. But this time around, I think they picked another venue. That's where that will be. But everything else stays the same. So what was that about? 10 days of keeping us on tenterhooks. Some of us even were having diarrhea. Just trying to figure out what's going on. A very straightforward funeral that should have been had, without any drama. Why did we have to wait 10 days before this deal or whatever agreement was broken? So I just hope, because we also trying to dispel all these rumors. We had Monday, actually Friday was breaking news that the delay was as a result of the Lungu family, namely the widow, the daughter Tarsila, and the other siblings trying to blackmail government into dropping all their charges that they're fighting in the courts of law. So I just hope that, that's not one of the agreements that, made this deal possible. But we also know that Zimbabwean President Mnangagwa did send an envoy, his vice president, to Zambia this Thursday, I think it's past Thursday, to broker a deal. So there was that involved and several other, heads of states into getting this deal done. That was announced today, 10 hours Zambian time. And so really it's interesting to see, what's going to happen after the fact that the funeral is over and done away with, because we also heard from the Republican president on Tuesday, no, Wednesday actually, where he called on every Zambian to be, to unite with the Lungu family. He preached, a word of love and unity and integrity as we all mourn the former president. And, so we're going to see how that, that message seems to have been received well. I spoke to a lot of people in Zambia, and they were like, well, you know what? We expected HH to come out and with all his fists ready for war, but we were surprised that he only gave us a 2 minutes recorded statement, because after 7 days of the president being quiet about the ongoings there, everybody was ready that the president was going to come swinging, uh, um, with his statement, but it wasn't so. But anyway, what do I know? Look who's here. My brother from Shibuya is out here in from the should we call it the Queensland? My mommy, should we call it the Queensland? What is it?
Yeah, it's a Queensland, but specifically it's Stratford upon Avon.
Oh, there we go. That's what I wanted. Welcome. I'm
Pleasure
so
is mine.
glad to have you. I thought you were still celebrating your Father's Day, like all the fathers out here who are with me every Saturday. Sundays. They're not here today.
There's
Wow, it's
something.
like, yeah,
There's
yeah.
something with there's something with the fathers that
No,
has
no,
caught up my mind.
we accept, we agree. It's Father's Day, but the show must,
20
the show must continue.
20% of them in Zambia have mental health problems. Ah, ah,
You feel
yes,
about that statement. They all
20%
have
mental health problems
brought about.
by women
Oh
and
my goodness, what have we done now?
pressure.
Oh, we are the sweetest people ever. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway, I'm sure you've been. I know you've been on it. You've seen the unfolding events in the motherland. So, in a nutshell, let's start with today's press statement, and then we will walk back our steps uh, with the happenings during the week. So let's start with today's press statement. Your view there, Patrick Kangwa, flanked by Moneybags McCabe Zulu, announcing that they have reached an agreement. The president will be in the country. Oh, did I say the president? Sorry. The remains of the deceased former president, Edgar Chagwa will be in the country on Wednesday. Burial has been set for Monday, the 23rd. The period of mourning has been extended to Monday next week. And of utmost importance, the President of the Republic, H.H. Hakainde Hichilema, will be presiding over that state funeral. And yeah. So basically, in a nutshell, the deal is in set, and the body will be arriving on Wednesday. Your comment there, Mr. Mata, what do you think of that, of the announcement?
Yes, the expected the expected thing was
Mhm.
to bury the former president with the dignity that he deserved. He was
Right.
no ordinary citizen. I'm just too happy that whatever was standing in the way to make him deserve that that befitting send off has been overcome by all parties concerned. You know, when you are resolving conflict, compromise is not weakness. It's
Mm-hmm.
a way of it's a way of making progress. Where there's no progress, there's tension. Where there's no progress, there's accusation.
Mm-hmm.
You see, we and when accusation comes in, there's no trust.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever has unfolded today, uh, I I do this hats off to everyone that was involved. There are some that were involved in a very small way, some that were involved in a very big way, but they have all done a very good job. As a nation, we can move forward. We should not be held just talking about one thing over and over.
Mm-hmm.
There
Mm-hmm.
comes a time when bygones should be bygones.
Right.
We know
Right.
what is coming ahead of
Mm-hmm.
us.
Mm-hmm. Right. So what was
And in the
what?
and one more
Mm-hmm.
thing, in moments like this, the truth should prevail. We have learned of something that we didn't know,
Mm-hmm.
and
Exactly.
we didn't know, and we kept firing shots at that one, at that one. There was this blame game. Now, with whatever has unfolded today, oh, it puts our fears and hearts to rest.
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. You know, I mean, of utmost importance is the idea that, oh, the president or the New Dawn government did not render any help or any
Yeah.
assistance to the
Uh,
family, and we saw that being dispelled by the secretary to the cabinet,
mm,
Patrick Kangwa, who told the rest of us in front of Moneybags Makebi Zulu, saying they did offer the help, but the help was declined, and that at no time did government deny Mr. Lungu's passage to South Africa for treatment.
yeah. Yeah.
When you heard that, I mean, you know, in the midst of all the noise that we've been hearing in the last 10 days,
Uh-huh.
what came to your mind? I mean, what was the end game for Makebi Zulu and his people?
You know, what I would tell you is this, and I want to be candid. I want to
Mm-hmm.
be explicit.
Mm-hmm.
Politicians will ruin Zambia. Zambia is
Right.
in good hands of ordinary citizens.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Politicians, no. No, no, no. Because you can't have a statement of that magnitude coming out and making everyone know to say that one or that one did things wrong. Politicians are not good characters to have around, especially when they are seeking political office.
Right. Right.
You know, when you have the truth,
Yes, the truth will set you
just
free.
know, just know that it has so much value. Even if you become economical with it, just
Mm-hmm.
know that it has a lot of value. As
Right.
politicians, this thing where they want to use events that can unite Zambians to cause disunity. I think we have the wrong people aspiring for political office. We can't have a whole load of PF officials coming with statements that were negative. You know, those people were privy to that information to say Edgar was accorded a chance to go and get treated. They were privy to that information, but none of them came out with that one. All they did was to come and say, he was denied, he was denied, he was denied. They are liars.
Yeah,
It reminds me, you know,
absolutely.
it reminds me of this novel, Animal Farm, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, when power gets in your head, it just corrupts you absolutely, and power corrupts absolutely. You can't have people telling lies.
Is that the way to getting into power now with your lies? Is that your way? You lie to Zambians. Edgar Lungu was denied financial
Yeah,
help to travel to
I
South
have
Africa. Denied entry. Is that what Zambians want to hear?
I have
Is that
one
what they
thing to
want?
say.
Go
I have one
ahead.
thing to say about Zambians.
Mm-hmm.
We have to reduce our gullibility. I don't know. Is there such a word? We have to reduce our gullibility, where we are gullible, tending to believe anything. We need to be thinking critically, to analyze, to introspect, not to just believe because it has been said by so and so and so.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, this so and so and so has a pocket agenda
Mm-hmm.
that they want to advance at the expense of Zambian unity, Zambian cultural diversity,
Mm-hmm.
Zambian dominant values, Zambian beliefs, Zambian
Mm-hmm.
Ubuntu.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine a, a person coming to just distort the Zambian Ubuntu. We are known to be a country of peace, but here someone just comes an agenda. Oh, there was nothing given to Edgar. Uh,
Yeah, I mean,
that
because that was
that
what was prominent
begging.
the last 10 days. That's all we had.
Eh, that is,
Edgar Lungu was treated so badly, but then when you ask them, tell us
you know,
how, give us
you know, they,
details.
they are politicians are, sorry to use this word, they are disingenuous.
Mm-hmm.
Disingenuous. They, what is genuine to them, they think what is genuine cannot make them sail into politics. They want to bring that which is wrong, thinking it will make them gain mileage. But as Zambians, it's high time that we got to not say, oh, these people just want to use us as ladders to go up. When you see,
Right.
if you're to support them that time, yeah, you would even like come out very negative about things, condemn someone who is not supposed to be condemned, and forget that one who's supposed to be praised just because the politician lied to you. It's not fair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it was. I don't know. I just felt so. I was disheartened. For everything that came out, and this whole funeral, Mr. Macha, to tell you the truth, as a citizen of Zambia, it's just left a sour taste in my mouth.
It is
Imagine. Um, I mean, I just felt like if that was my father, I'm an adult now. I wouldn't allow those politicians to try to ride on my father's body, or to get
you,
to state
Kalinda,
house.
Kalinda, Kalinda. Why are you not just being candid here? Just say, if I was Taxila. No, you see,
I was trying to avoid that.
no,
I
no,
was
you
trying
don't have
to
to avoid
avoid
it.
it.
Ah, you don't have to avoid it.
Yeah.
Tasila, look, Tasila is human. She has
Mhm.
feelings, she has emotions. It's Father's Day. Huh? Are we together?
We are
It's,
together.
it's Father's Day today. What was going on in the mind of Tasila?
I
Father,
don't know.
father, Father's Day, father is no more. He has to be buried. There's tension. Ah, no, no, no.
No,
No,
yeah, you want to give your father, the send off that he deserves in
you know what?
dignity, in
You know,
peace,
do you know
everything.
the bond that is between Tarsila and the father?
I would like to say that was not a real bond.
No, no, no.
No, I don't. I think it
No,
was
there was.
superficial.
I'll
No,
tell you something.
it was a
No, no.
superficial bond.
Listen, Galinda, there are two things in life, or
Hmm.
three important things in life.
Talk to me. Talk to me.
To be born, number one. To get married and to die. Tarsila was born, number one. Tarsila got married. Who walked Tarsila to the hell? The
The
father.
father.
That bond cannot be broken. So now that man, that father is no more. He has to be buried. It's not possible, but there's just this surrounding thing, the thing around him that will not make it possible for him to be buried decently. No, no, no. It's not just right.
I maybe not. What are you even talking about?
What I'm talking about is what was going on in the mind of the Lungu family
The
in
Lungu
particular.
family knew that their loved one was ill to begin with. They knew
Yes,
that.
yes.
And the doctors told them, look, this man doesn't have much time. It could be any day now. Yeah.
Mhm.
So they prepared them for that. And then it happened. At some point, somebody needed to rise up, rise up the fray and do the right thing. And doing the
Uh-huh.
right thing is to let the father, who is a former president of a country, to go and be buried back home in dignity and in peace. Not the shenanigans that we've seen in the last 10 days.
Those that were stopping that from happening
Who are
must
those? Who are those?
have.
Who has more power to to Edgar Lungu than the family? Who has more power? You tell me.
the, the family.
Yeah. So if the family has more, why were they listening to people like Makebi Zulu, who was on their payroll or is still on their payroll to do the right?
Um, you see,
Who is
sometimes
looking? Who is looking that to stop the widow Esther Lungu and Tasila Lungu to do the right thing? Because who is Nakachinda?
those
Because at
are
the end of the day, it's not Nakachinda who probably signed on that death certificate. It's
I'm going
probably
to
maybe Tasila Lungu or somebody else.
I'm going to bring this analogy here where
Yeah,
you
give
have this
it to me.
bus.
Give it to
This
me.
bus, there's a bus traveling from okay, listen. Oh no, not a bus.
I'm
There's
listening. I'm right
there's a,
here listening.
there's a plane traveling from Japan
Hmm.
to America. This plane is stopping at as many stations as possible.
Yeah.
Hello.
What happened, Mr. Maja? You're using Zamtel internet. Okay. Hopefully you'll be back. So, oh, go
I
ahead.
got a call. I got a call.
Okay.
I got a call somewhere.
Okay, go ahead.
So I was saying this plane is traveling from Japan to America.
Hmm.
It will stop in Malaysia, drop
Right.
some passengers,
Hmm.
pick others on its way to America. Maybe Frankfurt, German, it will pick others, drop others, pick. These are politicians. They met them in their life. They were not born with Tarsila. They were not born in the Lungu family. They're just people who they met along the way as life progresses. So to the
Right.
Lungu family, what I would even advise them is we meet a lot of people on the way. To bring them, there are certain things that are just for the family. They are family issues. You need to preside over them.
Right. I
And,
agree
and,
with you. Yeah.
and say something that will hold water, where they will say, really, that family is united. Now, the unity of the family here has been brought about by outsiders. Hmm? No, no, no. It should not be that way.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't. Because if
Hmm.
you remember last week we talked about,
Hmm.
we asked this question, or the week before, actually, I can't remember now. This funeral has been going on for a lifetime. For me, it seems like a lifetime.
Yes.
We asked, did Mr. Lungo has any like cousins, aunties, uncles?
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
where
Yes.
are those people?
I only got to hear of a chief today, Chief Mumbi. Thank you
Oh,
very much for that chief to appear on the scene, to say whatever I said, the role that he played. I thank him very much, and he has done his job, but we need a little more. So it's on this point where maybe as Zambians, we need to be in touch with our roots. Let's be people that know our where we come from, our village. Yes, we are into this nucleus family, but in moments like this one, I've learned that extended family can also be of help. Because
yes.
if there was an uncle or an auntie, they could have prevailed over Tasila. Tasila, this is our show. You are a daughter. You are mourning. You know, in African tradition, I cannot dig a grave for my child.
Absolutely, and also, why does Tashina have more power than the other siblings, like the ones who didn't travel to South Africa, namely Daliso and the other lawyer, Chieso? Why does she have more power than those? And we know that Tasila was never raised by Mr. Lungu. We know that Tasila was raised here in the U.S. by the.
Uh, yeah, the
Why did
bond.
the, yeah?
You know,
Why did those two travel?
there's a father and daughter, Oedipus complex, or Electra complex, eh? That kind of thing, eh? Father and daughter have that bond, eh?
No,
Which
they
you
never
can't.
had their bond. He never
No, no,
raised
no,
that girl. You remember?
no,
Let's go back to history. That
no.
girl was known as a shinene over here. I can guarantee you try to search Tasila Lungu's name here, you never find it as Tasila Lungu. She was raised. She was raised by the mother here who married somebody else. She was going by somebody else's last name over here. The only time that girl arrived in Zambia when it was announced that Edgar Lungu is the president, the kids that have been with that man are Chieso and the other Daliso. So
Hamumugo
now you cannot
Nchima.
tell me that in 5 years, 7 years, Tashila Lungu should be in front of everybody else who have seen this man all from the time he was a lawyer to when he
Uh-huh.
went to Chawama and all that. I just don't
But
get.
anyway,
I'm sorry,
but
I
anyway,
just don't. Go ahead, go
anyway,
ahead,
a
go
daughter
ahead.
is always a daughter.
Okay, but he has
A
another
daughter is
daughter.
always a
He
daughter.
has another daughter, Mr. Anyway, let's bring a new entrant, Mr. Jared Monga. Welcome, welcome, and tell us where you're joining us from. We are talking the impacts that has not been resolved with our former president's funeral. Please let us know where you're joining us from, and you can add your thoughts on the funeral and everything else that happened. Right now, me and Mr. Maja, who is in England, we are fighting over the relationship between Tashira Lungu and Edgar Chagwa Lungu. Come in, Mr. Monga. What, did we lose him?
I don't know where he's, I don't know where he is. Maybe it's network issues.
Of course,
Mr.
the
Monga,
problem is in Zambia, probably network.
Mr. Monga, are you there?
Yeah, come back, come back, come back, come back, Mr. Monga. Yeah, we are still having issues to try to connect Mr. Malaiti to the podcast. It's in Zambia. The network there is just anyway. You should, Mr. Malaiti, you should speak more to this. The
Yes.
network thing that you used to experience. This is the thing, something that these people are having too.
Yeah, there are a lot of problems of network in Zambia.
Uh
Yeah,
huh.
so for Tasila and the father Edgar,
Mm-hmm.
I think only the two of them know what bonds them. Let's leave it at that.
Well,
Because
as an outsider, I would think that it was superficial. You know why I say superficial?
Mhm.
I mean, if I had this, because the way I love my father has been gone for 25 years now. You know, even now, I can still feel his love, and there's nothing in this world that I would do right by him, even when he's been gone for 25 years. I don't think Tasila Lungu, with her actions in the last 10 days, or since she announced that the father passed away, speaks to, or shows me that she loved the father. Because at this point, I'm thinking this has been about her and trying to. I mean, let's just pick the headlines that came out Friday, where it was announced that they were holding on to the body because she wanted all the charges against her. And the stepmother dropped before she releases the body. Who thinks like that? Your father is in a mortuary rotting. Who thinks
oh,
like that, Mr. Maja? You tell me.
those are just
Where
headlines.
is where
Is
is
it
the love there? Where is the
is
love?
it is it documented?
Who knows? I mean, because we don't know why she's been holding on to the body for 10 days.
I think
My
that's
father
what
died.
is there. We
Yeah,
don't know why.
yeah, but my father died in South. Let me just, I remember my father was a nobody, but he was something to me. You know,
And
I cannot. My father dies in South Africa. Even you, Bamach, your father dies, God forbid, in South Africa. Are you going to hold on to that body and say, you people over there, because you owed my father 10 pin, until you pay that 10 pin, that's when I'm bringing the body. In the meantime, the body is rotting in a South African hospital.
I question that love.
Huh? I have to
I question
question it.
I question that love. That love is I'll borrow your word. It's
Yes,
superficial.
yes, I have to
Not at
question it.
You mean it's not artificial but superficial.
Yes,
It's
because
more
I
than
can guarantee. Yeah, I can guarantee it. If Lungu uh, was still drinking whatever he was drinking in Chawama with by Esther, and if he never ascended to that power, I don't think you would have seen Tasila in Zambia. I can guarantee that. I can guarantee it. Even
Mhm.
I can you never would have seen you never would have known that Edgar Lungu has a daughter in America called Tasila Lungu. I can guarantee that. The only time you saw Tasila coming to Zambia is the moment the international world media pronounced the father as the president of the Republic of Zambia. Tasila was in Zambia the very next day. You tell me. You tell me.
Yeah, okay.
And Edgar Lungu has been Home Affairs Minister, in the PF. You know, did you ever see Tasila come to Zambia? Even when the father was Home Affairs Minister or Defense Minister, whatever portfolio he held, you never saw
we
that woman.
we need to have we need to have strong families.
Yes. I mean, I
Strong
agree
families.
with you. I agree with you on that one. So
Mhm.
I am of the view. I mean, I'm sorry if people are angry at me, but I'm just saying, as somebody who loves the father still in death, my father has been dead for 25 years or 30 years now. I still hold that man to the highest
Esteem.
esteem ever. I
Mm-hmm.
talk about my father everywhere, every chance I get. And there is no way my father dies in South Africa. And I'm saying, well, I need these things done, these things done before I can bring my father home. Never,
The the love is
never, never. Oh, Mr.
the
Monga is
love.
back. Mr. Monga, welcome back. I think his network is acting up again. You know,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Ramaj, I'm just putting it out there.
The love
You
is
know,
that love. Okay, that love is questionable
I
because
have to.
you see, even when we go to the Bible, There's
Mm-hmm.
something which the Bible says about love. Love is what? Those conditions in Corinthians, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Love is patient. Love is what? It
Love is
does not grudge.
kind.
Yes, it does not hold wrong. It
Yeah.
does not. So she defeated all those things,
Mm-hmm.
and we say she loved the father.
I just don't see that. I don't see it.
Anyway,
I don't
anyway,
see it.
anyway.
I don't think I'll ever, understand it. I think Edgar himself was just happy because he had, oh, you know what, your daughter has come back from America. She's come back with an American accent. He was enamored by that idea. He loved that idea. That's all I have to say on that one. I
You know,
just,
you,
I just don't see
you
it.
you can't trust a woman.
My job, I don't have my job.
You can't trust a woman. I'm getting to know. You can't trust a
No,
woman.
no, just so you can't trust some women. You need
We
to
can.
be careful.
Okay, you can
Yeah.
trust a woman, but not a daughter, maybe. Oh, sorry again. But
No,
ah,
just say you cannot trust some women. Let's
okay,
let's
some
leave it
okay,
at that.
okay, some women. Yeah.
Let's
Thank
just
you for
let
refining my
yes,
statement.
yes.
Yes.
Because not every it's like
Ah,
that.
some women. Yeah.
Yeah, some women. Me,
Yeah.
I'll always speak glowingly for my father because even now
Mhm.
I argue with some of my siblings if they come and say, "Oh no, dad, this," I'll say, "Mm, but dad is
And
not here to
listen.
his son."
Kalinda.
Mm,
Kalinda, listen.
yes, I'm
In
listening.
in our tradition, even if people say that your father is a witch or a wizard, Balaloa, you can never support that statement. Kiratonda.
Absolutely not.
Kiratonda.
Chiratonda. Even when
It's a
if
taboo.
somebody says my uncle Moloi, I
You
cannot
just
support
say
that.
no. You
It's
say
a
no.
no.
I don't know anything. You
Yeah.
who know something, can you tell me? Hey, what does he do? Even come out innocent.
Yes.
But you can go at his back and say, uncle, there was this and this issue. If you are into it, stop it. The two of you. But in public, you basically defend that man.
Yes, you
Now,
do.
now, here is the man who has died, and the daughter wants to have her cases dropped. It really, that's what she said. Is there any record? Is it recorded?
Except for the news that we saw. I mean, I'm just hoping
Yeah.
this agreement
I would,
by the I want to hear what was agreed. I mean, all I know is that the government agreed to the body being taken to
yes,
that his house in Chifuempa, wherever that is. I have no idea. And that it will go to some when they have the memorial service, it will be at a Catholic church instead of
yes.
cathedral. That I'm
Mm.
aware of. And what else? What else? I guess they wanted to take it to Petauke and all these other
Copper belt.
places, but the government said no to that. And of course, the government prevailed on Mr. HH, prevailing over the funeral.
And
So
it will always lie in state at his home.
yes, those I have. What else? The other, I mean, what led to them agreeing to
Mhm.
all these others? We don't
What
know.
were the what were the preliminary issues that
Yes,
were there before
yes,
that agreement was
yes,
reached? Yes,
exactly.
because there was a spirit of give and take. What
Yes.
was given?
Yeah, what was
What was,
given?
and
Yes,
what we've been told what was taken. Eh?
yes.
Now, what was given,
Yeah, what did the government give?
or what did the other parties give when they were
Yes,
on the round table?
yes. We
You
haven't
know,
seen the agreement. We haven't
it's
seen the agreement.
maybe
Right.
it's about people being mature once again here. Uh,
Well, I hope. Let's
if
hope they
really,
work.
if really there was something like that, I wish that thing should not come out in public.
I mean, it's
Let it.
already come out in public because here's what's going to happen. You and I are going to come back here in a few weeks when these cases start dropping off the court's schedule. If we are start hearing the famous uh, court court language, or is it GPP has what? Has entered a nolle prosequat.
Uh-huh.
That will take me here. And that's
Yeah,
not gonna be, that won't be good for the government.
yeah.
Because we need to
It
see
will now.
those cases concluded to the bitter end.
Yes.
Whether
Because
Galungo is here, whether he's gone, we need to see those cases, because UPND ran on the platform of cleaning up the government
yes,
from corruption. So we
not
cannot be entering into side deals because somebody wants to keep the body of
no.
their, because they want these cases dropped. Because they know they are guilty, they know that if they are found guilty, then their political life in Zambia is gone and done away with.
Guilt
Yes,
mind. Uh-huh.
yes, yeah. So,
So
I mean, if the government agreed to these conditions of no, we are only bringing the body after you drop off these cases. Guess what?
uh-huh.
I will jump on the plane, Bamash. I'm going to decampaign the current government if that's
And
the case.
you are reminding me of something now.
Yes.
If really those conditions were put forward,
Yeah.
the UPND, not the government,
Mm-hmm.
the UPND must have put pressure on the government to say, look, you people, you are going for the next elections in 2026.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you are going to fall for this, it may cost your popularity.
Not just the popularity. It will cost you. It will cost you an election.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
because you ran on this platform that we are going to fight against corruption. But then, because some people are saying no, we will keep the body here or bury them. You might as well said, you know what, for our own integrity, you can keep the body, you can bury it over there, but we are not going to allow you to use us in your evil scheme.
the
So
rule of law. He
the rule
mentioned
of
it.
law, yeah,
He mentioned it. He
yes,
mentioned it.
yes, he
The rule of
mentioned,
law.
yes, he did.
No one is above the law.
Mhm.
Mhm. So
Tell them, Bama Jamu Bambidin. You tell these
no
people,
one
Amu
is
Bambidin.
above the law.
Mm-hmm.
And no one should use this funeral to cause disunity in Zambia.
Mm-hmm.
Because where there's unity, I think there's justice. Eh?
Yes.
Yes. Where there's unity, there's justice.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So yeah. So anyway, so that's about Balumbo's funeral. So finally, they are burying him. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I mean, I don't even understand why the national mourning was extended.
No, that was one of the gives that was there. Give the
Why
undertaken.
was the national? They shouldn't have extended the national mourning. What for?
No, they must have come up with something like okay, look, we were in a period of confusion. This one was like we were finger pointing, eh? Now, can we
These
open a
are
new
like that
page?
people want to go and have a little drink up at Chicago's. Well, they can't have another 14 days. That's too
No,
much on the people.
no. They must first. I can imagine this was what was happening. Eh? We are meeting on this round table after saying this. You government, you said this, we said that. Let's forgive each other, but can we start on a fresh page? Everything that was said by whoever is cancelled. It's now and void. Now, calendar. Can you just give me chance? I collect one parcel that has come.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, let me bring in Bachilufia. Bachilufia is back
Yes.
on here. Welcome,
Okay.
Bachilufia.
Okay. I'll be
Hello,
back
how are
soon.
you?
We're good. We're good. How's your Happy Father's Day?
Thank you.
Yes.
I won't be long. I just came to say, hey, guys.
Okay, right.
so
No,
many,
we're here.
so many,
Oh,
so many programs. No one. So, Pawal
oh,
is doing one or two things, and let me just jump in real quick.
oh, no. I understand. All my fathers are not here today, so I get it. I'm just I'm out here just wilding out and just looking at the funeral and everything else and what that's happened. So
Yeah.
It is what it is. We just have to do what we have to do. So I hope that little boy is taking you out, dinner or lunch or something, or buy you some ice cream.
It's more like the other way around.
Daily. you know
Eh,
this.
Pachava.
These kids we have here. They have
Eh,
fingers all the time.
yeah.
Check. Hey,
Ah.
check. You know, my son the other day they thought I was a sucker because I've been trying to get him a car, but I'm telling you, I'm buying him a starter car. You,
Yes.
so I have a budget. Like I'm not spending more than 5,000. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he goes, I think my mistake is I gave him my car to drive.
Mm.
So that's a mistake I made. I mean, I'm shooting myself in the foot. So anyway, we found this car, very good car. I mean,
Uh-huh.
it's good. I mean, it looks good, everything. So then he goes, "Oh no!" I said, "How many?" You're like, "Well, but it doesn't have a backup camera. I can't I can't do any
Eh.
backup without a camera." I said, "Excuse you." Backup camera is not even a reason why we can't buy a car because it doesn't have a backup.
Mm.
I said, you work hard, then you can
Eh.
buy whatever car you want. So,
Mhm.
I mean, this is like car number 5.
That's
Everything.
it.
No. But, I said, look, the budget, this is how much I'm spending.
Yes.
So it's either you're going to get a car or you're not. Or
Not.
you're going to be getting on a public bus to go to your
Mhm.
college. And
Yeah.
that tells you won't be coming home during the weekend. So you have to make up your mind. So anyway, that's the story for another time.
Yeah. Ah, budgie. No, at least my boy is only 8, so he's traffic my problems. I.
Oh, they are coming. They are coming. And you tell these chaps like me, I bought my
Mm.
own car. My father didn't buy me my car. I bought my own cars.
Mm.
I wasn't that rich.
Yeah. No, they don't understand.
Yeah, I said, you're even lucky I'm offering to buy you a car. I mean, I'm pretty sure there are other kids who wait
Uh,
for their cars in this country too.
yeah.
But I'm offering you a car. Anyway, that's a story for another day. Baby can go comment badi nani. I'm not breaking news here from here Zambia. What nani? Balungu
What Balungu?
Wednesday and the barrier is the 23rd. The morning period have been expanded to the
You
20th.
got the remote? Hold on, one no quality rate. Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, whew, Father's Day. Father's Day is Father's Day. Yeah. So you guys in Zambia, what do you do for Father's Day, by the way? Yeah. Shoot me a comment here. I want to hear what fathers in Zambia do. Do you guys go out to drink, or you have a little, getaway? What goes down on Father's Day? Actually, I haven't had a Father's Day in Zambia for the longest time. Um, I'm rarely in Zambia in June. Typically in Zambia around April, May, June, very rarely. So I don't know what goes down on Father's Day. So shoot me a text. Let me know what goes on down there. It'd be nice to know. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So what was that? Where were you guys at now?
We anyway just jumping into talking about the pronouncement today of the remains of Mr. Lungu being repatriated back to Zambia on Wednesday, and the funeral is gonna be. The burial is Monday next week,
Go with them. Go trade on that side. Uh huh.
and then the extension of the national mourning to the 23rd. And he will lie instead at his house in what's the name? I can't pronounce that name. Wait. Well, that's in Chawam or whatever, Chipwempa or something. And that
Kumanda kumwakwe ni kwisa.
Katuisha to Chipwempa. I just said that during that press briefing by the secretary to cabinet, Patrick
Eh.
Kanoa. And,
Kuli okwale renting inganda kwa Suzu.
I don't know. Maybe that's the place. But I thought they said if you are renting a house, you can't take a dead body there. I mean, I don't know how that works, but that's what I. Anyway, that's what they said, and
Mm.
and that his funeral service is going to be at the Catholic Church, not Cathedral of the Holy Cross. So yeah, so a deal is in place now. Hmm.
Okay.
My
Yeah.
question, why taking us on a 10-day? I mean, this is just abuse of citizens, only to enter this agreement.
Yeah. Abantu aba, they're full of comedy. I mean, it's you know, I don't know how to say it to sound politically correct, but it was unnecessary for all this drama. Very unnecessary. Because at the end of the day, they've stood agreed to what the government and what it's supposed to be happening, or what's supposed would have happened already.
Yeah.
They were giving all these funny demands, but I read the joint press conference today. I watched it actually. It was broadcasted live on the Red Tide Media, and I saw two statements, conflicting statements.
Mm-hmm.
But Mekebi Zulu was saying that he had no help. The government didn't help him. The government didn't sponsor him. He still remains on that same, story, despite them agreeing. And then Patrick, even him at the other end, was saying, no, the government offered, and he
But I
refused.
thought that was Makebi Zulu next to Patrick Kangwa.
Yeah, Makebi Zulu.
Yeah, he was right sitting next to him
Yes.
when he said the government offered him.
No, so yes, they were sitting next to each other. So the first person to talk was Makebi Zulu. He was the first to talk. He said the government did not offer any support. So after I spoke, Patrick Kangwa also spoke. That's why I'm saying there were two conflicting statements.
No, I did. I mean, I didn't have time to listen to Makebi.
Oh, okay. So the first one was Makebi.
I don't have time to listen to live.
Yeah, so Makebi said that's what he said, and then Patrick Kanga also said it clearly to say, look, he wrote because he can't just go outside the country; he has to write, to cabinet, and he received the letter from his lawyer, who I think is passed. I don't know, I forget the name. He wrote a letter to him, say he wants to travel to South Africa for medical issues, and then he wrote back to him to say yes, no problem. Will coordinate with Ministry of Health so that they facilitate everything. And then the lawyer wrote back to him to say, this is not a request for assistance. Okay? We want to do everything ourselves. So he refused in simple terms. Help was offered, but he refused.
Right.
Okay? And then at the end of the day, saying the government didn't help. So what's going on?
Yeah.
So that's where it is. So, I people should go and watch that, joint press briefing. Makebi says something, the government says something else at the same table. Okay, but me, I would believe in what the government was issuing, because
I would like to believe that too. Yeah.
So obviously, yes, he wrote to the cabinet, and they granted him. So he said that, look, after I wrote back to his lawyer, I granted him. And then when they wrote back to say, oh, okay, fine, we're going to do it on our own expense. They said, okay, fine. Then they issued that release paper for him to travel to South Africa. So that's how we left. So it wasn't like the government wasn't aware, or the government didn't know, or the government, so all these things, it's just trying to create confusion. I think about Patriotic Front is on kupwa kwa party uko. Yakashinga party for ipwa hivi last kicks of a dying horse ni hivi. Because nobody seems to have a level-minded. There's no level-minded person in the Patriotic Front.
Oh, they're finished. Yeah, they're finished. And I mean, if our lives are listening, they really do need to investigate McCabe for all the lies that he's been peddling, and they need to take away his license.
Well, I think he would, shoot himself to say, "I'm just a lawyer. I'm just saying what the family is
No,
telling me to say."
no, 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 no. Even when you're a
Yeah?
lawyer, but you have to tell the
Mm,
truth. I'm sure the
mhm,
family have given him, like, first of all, even in this press conference, I would have loved them. I would have loved them to tell us what Lungu died from, because right now we're being left with guessing games.
No, it was mentioned. He
What is
had
the message?
he had a long, I forget the name. It's a throat, sort of a throat cancer,
Okay, all right.
where the esophagus, shrinks, and then it's quite a serious one that he actually he has been suffering for years, actually, even before he became president.
Of course. I mean,
You
remember
know,
we talked about it. But
so.
look, when he just came onto the scene, he was fainting. He
Mm,
fainted over at that, Zambia Army something parade.
mm,
He fainted at
mm,
Lusaka Museum. He fainted at that showgrounds. Oh, yeah,
mm,
he's been having fainting episode. We know that. But they wanted to come out like, he's the saint of the saintest. He's an angel. Like he was never sick. And that's why when people talk about he was poisoned, by who? Who was he with in South Africa? I mean, why would you? I mean, there are so many things that I'm just like, the last 10 days, that Sophia, my brain has been fried
mm.
to the point where
Yeah.
I'm just fatigued by this whole funeral business.
Mhm,
And I'm just saying, well, let's get on over with. Let's just get on over with and put a full stop to that episode, because they have embarrassed us as a country. And if you love Zambia, you can't put its people to such abusive behaviors that Makebi Zulu and the cronies put the
mm,
Zambian people through. And these are some people you want them to give you your vote so you
mm,
can preside over their issues. I was telling to Mr. Maja earlier. I said, I really don't think that. I mean, this is my personal opinion. She can sue me if she wants. Tasila Lungu loved her father. I don't think so that she loved her father, because
mm,
the way I loved my own father, I still love my father. He's been dead for 30 years. I can never put his body after he's gone, what Tasila Lungu has done to her father.
mm,
Yeah?
mm,
I mean, why would you even, you know? I mean, already I can see that there's some kind of division within that family, because it looks like
mm,
Tasila is on one side and then Daliso and Chieso they're on the other side, because those two
mm,
didn't travel. They didn't even go for the whatever thing service they had in South Africa. But
mm,
Tasila Lungu she's right front and center over there, and his
mhm,
stepmother. I
mm,
mean, I just don't see it virtually. I don't see it.
mm,
I cannot leave my father in the mortuary in Ankuliama Embalmment Services,
mm,
rotting in the mortuary while I'm trying to play my politics on the other side. And if
mm,
and if the disclosure on Friday is true, where they were asking for their charges to be dropped before they could release the body. I mean, that's just shameful, actually.
mm,
I mean, I just don't see
mm,
any bird. I mean,
mm.
any Kokwera
No, I
Nakasi.
think they said it, Pananik. I think you should watch it.
Yeah,
They said it.
yeah.
They mentioned that it wasn't on the table when they're negotiating, but
Okay,
obviously
let's hope not.
maybe it was it's sort of like you don't mention it, but
Uh-huh.
you know that it's what it is.
Yes, I
You
mean,
see what I'm saying?
yeah, if they don't mention it, yeah, but at the same time, just release the body.
Mm,
But she came about with so in dignity.
mm,
Because I mean, this whole week I've been talking to people in Zambia, and you know what? They're saying we are tired, man. Telling we're tired. Let them bury him, South Africa Queen. Because they have
mm,
deprived us of the opportunity to mourn our president. If
mm,
that's what
mm,
they want to play, then just let them be. Let them bury. We are ready. And most of
mhm,
my people were in the pubs having a one-on-one before they went home. Like, well, we can't even go out now. But how about the pub having a one before I go home?
mm,
Yeah, Zambians were fatigued by this funeral,
mm.
and
Yeah.
The idea of extending to, another week of national mourning, for me, it hasn't sat well. You know.
I think it's days. I think he'll be buried on Wednesday.
Wait, he's
They
arriving
killed the Wednesday.
Wednesday. Wednesday, that's when he's arriving from South Africa. They are burying on Monday the 23rd. Yeah. So they have extended the national mourning for another week.
Because it has been delayed. I mean, what can they do? I mean, they can't just take Africa body bashika pope the same day because
Well,
bakadandawula abantu, they'll start complaining again. President bashika
I think they should have let the people go about with their business, and then on the day of the burial, then declare a holiday.
Kukabe fyakulandala mwacho abantu fo baba.
Yeah, people are back already. They are fatigued.
Kuba staff vile ba PF kayo fo balefu wa kuba staff ya nani kani. You know? Tabate mwe fyakulandala njena wakashi bane. Tabafwa fyakulandala fyakula donsana. Nepintolo filipe straightforward.
Yeah, we hear you, but people are tired. People are exhausted. This has been so exhausting. I've never had to attend a funeral so exhausting like this one. In Zambian English language, it's been very shambolic. Whatever. No. The president should not be near the body. Show us the will. Can't you get They want to see the will. Because at least you see, the staff different. Mwanawasa left a will, which we all saw. We saw him speak in a video. You know? May he so rest. Today on paper he left a will. If he left a will, show us the will. Yeah,
I think there's no way you can say that.
Eddie Galungu was a lawyer, so I don't see why we can get a video will from Manawasa and we don't get a video will from another world class lawyer like Edgar Chagwalungu. Show us the will. That way, even when you are telling us something, you have something to back you with.
Anyway, yeah, wafya. I think Iliashiri, we can go on and on, but at the end of the day, I think it's good they've agreed to disagree, and at the same time, it's good that he's going to be given a state funeral, other than what they were suggesting. Like you can imagine, he would have been the first president, probably in the world, that didn't receive a state funeral with what the plans they were having. Because their plans, I don't know, I don't know what was going on in Bichiro sometimes now what they chiro.
That's why you that if you are that close, you stay back. That's why I've always asked whether did he have any relatives, like my uncles, my cousins, who could have taken that upper hand role of trying to do right by him.
His family is a little bit the family history or the family tree is a little bit shaky there. So that's a story of another day that I don't want to do.
Now, man, he's so rest in peace. I'd like to believe the late Mike Mlongoti. And I'm not going to repeat his words, but I think now with everything that's gone down in this funeral, I believe every word that he ever told us about this man. Because you cannot have a Bawido everybody forefront, with the help of Makebi. We know that big money back Makebi is out there. He's out there for the money. He wasn't there for the bag. He wasn't out there for the best interest of the family. Whether he was selling himself for a presidential run, who knows? That's a story for another day. So anyway, let's see what happens in the week. But
Yeah.
really, to me, this funeral really left me with a sour taste in my mouth, and I'm never gonna look at Tasila Lungu. I mean, I've had my doubts with her from the get go, but I've never looked at that that woman
Mm,
the same
mm,
because I mean, if you love your father, you wouldn't put
mm,
his remains in such trauma
mm,
after
mm.
his
Oh,
death.
era okupata ekyo kwali upato bwaso
Yeah, no.
n'obuloshi.
No, 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 no. I mean, and you know, I mean, I'm just gonna say it out there. I mean, if a guy was going through radiation, shan, South Africa, once, you know, once they're gone, you know, even with the embalmment, it's too just like Monica Filia, you know, because I saw it from my own mother, because she went through chemo and radiation. Once she passed, even after doing embalmment, it just, you know, you can't keep
Mm,
it to be a cancer that went
mm,
through a radiation and chemo in the perpetuity. You know,
mm.
I hope they won't even do none.
What are you doing?
What it being because I don't think it would be in the none, it would be in the right state. Honestly speaking,
Mm,
and
mm.
this is from my experience. You know, from my mother's death, who died from cancer after
Mm.
radiation and chemo.
Era barefa basunga okukwine kunganda kumwakwe for the nani kana days.
Yeah, let them keep it there. Okay, wale
Mm,
wana kwa
mm, mm,
chini.
mm, mm.
I mean, mnafa wale kwa tubala kiswala kufa.
Kati
Kusete
chirindi balachiba barasta
yes,
shadi.
the kinds of these people they are just they're out there. I mean, they still want to come. They're for to campaign. Hmm? They're for to campaign, and I mean, I know they're saying it's not true, but if they did ask for the charges to be dropped, Tarsila Lungu is gonna mark my words. If Tarsila Lungu doesn't embark on a presidential run, or somebody doesn't co-opt her into a running mate, watch this space.
Yeah, vakararwira she vose varifoko baba president. Given wants to be president, KBF wants to be so apa nomba it's going to be a battle.
But
This is where you're going. This is where you're going to see now the Patriotic Front completely sinking.
but we are
Is
looking
it?
we are looking at two different battles.
Mm.
Because when it turns we have Membe and Harry Kalaba hasn't. I mean, let me just give my shouts out to Harry Kalaba, Citizen's first president. Have you noticed how quiet he's been in this whole thing? I
Mm.
think he's the only one that has come out unscared.
Well, it's because he knows these things how they operate. He used to
Uh,
be a foreign affairs minister,
yeah, for a change, he's been very smart.
and he knows how government operations work.
Mm.
He knows the procedures, and he knows all this was wrong.
Mhm. Yeah,
You know,
he's very,
we can't speak for himself, but I
yeah.
can just assume he saw
Mhm.
it at before Yahweh. This is not right.
He has been smart.
Yeah, he will
Usually,
probably
you'll be
give a
out
statement
there.
after the funeral.
Yeah, no statement, no nothing, not even the writings on his wall. He's been smart
Mhm,
about it. You know,
mhm,
so I mean, I'll give him his respect on this one.
mhm.
You know, I'm going to Kwanyu by his name.
Uh,
I'm
yeah,
putting a Kwanyu next to his name because I mean it's been very quiet. I think it's been very mature about it.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, so yeah, you know, now I say so because uh, the battle that's going to be first is the battle within the PF, right?
Mhm,
Then Gabafumoko, the battle whoever emerges there and then decides to stick with Tonse, there will be another battle within those Tonse affiliates. And who are these people? Membe, Sharakateka, KBF, because KBF is not PF. Remember, his party is called Zambia Must Prosper.
yeah, but they're all coming from PF. KBF was PF. I mean,
Yeah,
he is. That's why he's in the. Everybody that's in the Tonse are affiliated with Patriotic Front some way or another.
of course.
You see?
Then
You know?
everyone now they want to run under Tonse as one umbrella.
Yeah, but
So
who's going
that's
to be the president? They are all presidents of different parties. So
yeah.
who's going to be the president of that Tonse
Yeah,
thing?
so that's
Mm,
another battle. There's
mm,
there's a battle within PF, or the so-called diehard PF Pashiremu. Eh? Then is the battle within Tonse. That's why I'm calling it. There are two fights here. One
mm,
the Tonse within Patriotic Front, the
mhm,
diehard, the one that's gonna emerge from this Lungu, and then Tonse number.
mhm.
Yeah,
That's
that's another fight.
yeah.
So
Ah,
we are in for a long fight. Hello,
like,
Uka. What is
mhm.
going Nanga Uka? What's going to happen to Uka?
I don't know about Ukwai. I don't know. I think that one was dead on arrival.
Even
I don't even know if it still exists. I got no idea.
even Tulsa will be dead on arrival. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
by the
don't
time
as well. Yeah.
by the time they're done fighting there, because after they fight, then come out court cases, and you know how long the court cases system in Zambia take to discharge Amanan, Amabedics. That's another thing. Now,
Mhm.
then you back ya mutelonse okonomba they'll start fighting Benanani, Membe, Calabar. I mean, it's going to be a mess. That's what I'm going to say. It's a mess, Baba Chupa. Mess,
Mhm.
mess, mess. I don't
Mhm.
know what to say, but well, all I'm saying is that I'm just hoping and praying that there are no side deals that happened in South Africa to get Tassila and her cronies get those charges dropped. If they are, then
I don't think.
UPN is also gone.
I don't think so.
I hope not. I hope
I
not.
don't think so. Even
Because
if by the discretion of the president, if the president wants to pardon them, to say, okay, fine, just bring back what you got and give them that deal he was giving people in the first place. He was saying, look, if you come to me to say I made a mistake, and I leave, and then wafi bwesha, you can sign those things and say, okay, okay, yeah, get things to the state, forfeit them to the state, and then go by your daily life. Because I don't think a church would want Tasira or the mother to go in prison.
but Chilufia, you and I have been having these discussions for years now. Do you see those people being that humble? Do you think those people eating a humble pie to say, "Ah, okay, twalabwesha"? Do you see those people doing
Yeah, they can. I mean, if they don't want to go to prison, what's the alternative?
as stubborn as they are? We've seen them how you see how they work
Mm,
during this time.
mm,
You actually see them doing math.
mm.
I can't see it. I can't because if they can treat the loved one the way they have treated, ECL, and from what I have seen gathered so far, they have no respect for the president, for our current president. They have no respect for him. They don't see him as the president of Zambia. They see him as the man still being in opposition. They seem to think they are still in power.
Mhm.
Because if they respected him, we shouldn't have gone through these 10 days of uncertainty, 10
Mm,
days of the pushbacks, uh,
mm,
10 days of the abusive language that they poured on his government.
mm.
We wouldn't have gone there if they didn't respect. So
Anyway,
let's wait and see.
we'll connect next week again to not quite a appointment hapa no one.
Come in if you go do your daddy duties. Go do your
Mm.
daddy duties, and thank you for coming in.
Not,
See you
not,
next
not,
week.
okay.
Bye.
Okay, man. Bye bye.
Yeah, bye. All right then. That was Mr. Chilupia, just digging through the mess that's been at funeral, and just talking about it just making me so tired. And how about, oh God, I don't think we're gonna get a man from Zambia. I'm getting a lot of texts here from from people in Zambia. They're having network issues. They can't get through. So I guess we try next week. And shall we just end the podcast right now until we link up next week? And just a little side thing. Zambia has just been recognized by the IMF as being the fastest growing economy in Africa. So kudos to the new John government under the leadership of course, the president, Hakainde Hichilema, on that. And so with that, until we see you next Sunday, same place, happy Father's Day to all. This one out here, gotta go, and keep the faith, and good night.